Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another video. I'm finally not mute, you guys. It's been quite some time since I've actually talked through a video, so I'm back. In this video we are going to be doing a part 2 in a sense of my brow tutorial. I did post the if you struggle with eyebrows, watch this video, which got like 50,000 views, and I was like, oh my gosh, yes, it's so amazing. And then someone actually commented this week and asked if I could do one with a pencil. And I wanted in that video for it to just be kind of like a pomade type of thing, so I could explain one thing at a time, because I feel like once I include like a pomade, a pencil, eyebrow gel, anything like that, I feel like it can start getting muddy and confusing. So I decided to just make one specifically for a pencil. So if you aren't already subscribed, please go ahead and make sure you hit that subscribe button right down below. You can also tap the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I post a video. It's a little bit inconsistent now that I'm less than a month away from the wedding, so it's kind of sporadic, so I would recommend you putting on the notification bell even if it's occasionally, because I don't even know when I post videos. It used to be every day, and then it was Monday through Thursday, and then it was Tuesday through Friday, so it's just become a lot crazier. So let's go ahead and get started. If you're interested, please keep on watching. Okay guys, so if you haven't watched the first video, I would recommend you watching the first video. There's a lot of tips and information in that video. I am probably gonna give about the same information in that video as this video, so you don't have to, but if you want to know how to use an eyebrow pomade, then I would recommend you watching that video. But the first thing before anything that comes to eyebrows is getting your eyebrows either waxed, threaded, or plucked. Personally, I wouldn't recommend you plucking your own eyebrows. It just could go so left field. It would just be terrible. So personally for me, I get my eyebrows threaded. I get them threaded every 2 weeks, maybe even longer than that, because once they're threaded, I can kind of pluck out the sporadic ones, you know, the ones that grow down here that are just kind of, you know, the outliers. So I would recommend you getting them wax threaded or something like that. But after that, you want to figure out what type of brow you want. Do you want a bold Instagram, like I want somebody to tell me my eyebrows are on fleek, or do you want something a little more natural, a little more wearable for every day, just to make it look like you have something on your face? Because honestly, without either your eyebrows or your eyelashes done, you kind of look like a naked mole rat. I mean, let's just be honest, we just don't look as put together, and some women like to look put together. So I would recommend you at least getting the hang of an eyebrow pencil. So personally, my favorite eyebrow pencil is the Benefit Precisely My Brow. It looks like this. This is super, super, super fine, and it also has a spoolie on the other end. So this is super fine. Look at the point of this. That's really micro, and I really enjoy this because it gives me a lot more I don't want to say steadability, because I don't think that's a word, but it gives me a more steady hand, and I can be a little more precise with what I'm doing. I just feel the most comfortable with this. Plus, the actual pencil isn't big and bulky, and I feel like this mimics what you would, write with. So it's not going to feel awkward or difficult or weird in your hand or anything like that. Now, there is another pencil from Benefit. It is the Goof Proof Brow Pencil, which is a little bigger. And this one has kind of like a triangular point, if you can see. And I personally don't like to use this one. I think it's a little too big for me, especially my eyebrows. My eyebrows aren't really thick. If you have thicker eyebrows, naturally bushy eyebrows, and you just need it to lightly fill it in, this would be a better pencil because it's larger. It's going to cover more surface area, and it's not going to get everywhere if you have big brows. So for me, I need a smaller point because I have little brows and I don't want to have brow pencil all over the place. Another pencil from Benefit is the Brow Contour. I love this pencil. It's a little more waxy for my preference. I don't like my pencils to be very waxy because they might bleed throughout the day as I get oilier, things like that. But I do love the color in this one, so I use this one sometimes. It's kind of like one of those 90s pencils where you can push down the color and it'll pop out at the bottom. It's really cool concept, but it's also really large. It's like a Sharpie size, and it kind of feels awkward in my hand, so I don't pick it up too often unless I'm you haven't used that in a while, pick it up and use it, you know what I mean, for like Instagram purposes or something. But don't really use this one too often, but I do enjoy it when I do use it. It's just kind of awkward in my hand. But you guys, there are cheaper options. I know that this isn't for everybody because this pencil alone is about 23 bucks, I believe. And if it's an everyday pencil, you might be using it, you know, you might have to repurchase it a little more often than you might want to. But yeah, so that's my favorite. But you can pick up, CoverGirl has pencils now, Revlon has eyebrow pencils, Maybelline of course has eyebrow pencils. They have like an entire brow studio line. I haven't been to the drugstore in so long. Like when I worked at Walgreens, I was hip and new and I knew everything. It's not really the case this time. But there are drugstore pencils out there. Wet n Wild has a pencil. I don't personally enjoy it. I think it's a little waxy, but there are pencils out there for everybody. So if you need to find a pencil, I would suggest going to Walgreens. Most of the Walgreens have beauty consultants in there, so you know they can help you find something for your everyday use. But if you're like, no, I want what Lon has, I personally use the Precisely My Brow Pencil when I'm not using a pomade. So let's go ahead and get started because I've heard that I chat too much. So I'm just going to brush my eyebrow hairs upwards first, because the first thing I always do when I start with my eyebrows is spoolie them upward, because I always start with the bottom half of my eyebrows. So like I said, I get my eyebrows threaded and she kind of snips the hairs a little bit. I'm going to raise the pencil up, not too much because I don't want too much pencil to where it can break off or anything like that. You know how it goes with pencils. And then I'm going to start at the bottom half of my brow. And I do go kind of like, not short strokes, but I don't draw like one straight line. And I always start right here, so about an inch off of the front of my brow, because I don't want that like super hard pressure. Because when you first start your eyebrows, you know, you're kind of not all the way steady, you know. So I always start right about here, and then I'll just start to lightly bring it inwards, and then obviously go outwards. And it is okay if you mess up or if you go underneath of the line, whatever it may be, it's okay. You can, you know, clean that up with concealer later. So now that we have brushed it upwards, I'm just going to brush it over so that way it's not standing up. And then I'm going to start right about here. So I start here at the bottom and about here at the front. I just don't want the front of my brow to be too bulky or boxy. That's my biggest fear with eyebrows, is making them boxy. You don't want to do that. So I am going to just drag it down. And my pressure is semi-hard on the outer edge because I want the outer edge to be dark. So I apply quite a bit of pressure on the outer edge, like I'm kind of coloring it in. And then as I get in here, I lighten it up and I would just kind of like do like little flicks. Like just little flicks with my wrist. I tell you guys this in all of my videos where I'm like more so teaching than I am just doing my makeup. It's all in the wrist. Once you get the wrist action down, you'll be good. Because it's not your hand. It's not your hand that's doing the work. It's your wrist. You're flicking with your wrist. So you want to make sure that you get the wrist action down. And once you got that, you'll be Gucci. And now I'm starting to go inwards. And as you can see, I kind of made my arch a little high. I'm going to clean that up with concealer because I don't generally like my eyebrow arches to be very high. So what I do, as soon as I get to the front, I fill it in lightly and then I flip over to the spoolie end and kind of rough, not like kind of rough. I'll just start to brush through the front to kind of give it that gradient look. And then I'll brush through the rest. This just smooths the product out, distributes it evenly, and makes sure it doesn't look like super pencil-y. There we have it, y'all. Voila, we have one eyebrow done. It doesn't look super dark in the front, which is like everybody's biggest fear. As long as you spoolie it out, it should like kind of like not wipe away, but distribute out a little bit, and you should be fine. Okay, so the next step in eyebrows is cleaning your eyebrows up. As you can see, this is fine. You can leave your eyebrows just like this. It gives it a little bit more of a natural appearance. If you're not doing a full face of makeup, leaving it like this without the concealer might make it look a little more like your own eyebrows. Personally for me, I'm going to do the rest of my face. I'm going to film another video. You know how I do. So I'm going to need to clean this up. So what I do is I use 2 different concealers for 2 different steps. I use a concealer that is a lot lighter, honestly. Lighter than my skin tone, but for someone that's just doing everyday wear, you want at least 2 shades lighter. So you can even get away with 1 shade lighter than your skin tone, but 2 shades lighter than what you would put on for foundation or for your skin tone, and you would apply that underneath and clean up your eyebrows. For the top of your brows, you want something, either your actual foundation that you're going to use, or if you're not using foundation, you can use a foundation that you have, or a concealer closer to your skin tone. The reason that I bring up a foundation that is closer to your skin tone or your skin tone's foundation is because I don't need y'all going out buying, you know, an extra concealer that's not really necessary if you don't need to. So I'm going to start with the bottom. I use my ColourPop No Filter Concealer. This is in D40, so it's pretty light because under my eyes I either use D46 or D40, so I know. Don't be like Lon, y'all, because I'm extra. But I really enjoy having a bright under eye eyebrow, a bright highlighted eyebrow. Always have. And then for above, I'm going to use this Born This Way Multi-Sculpting Concealer. It's a little thicker. It's in Chestnut. It's from Too Faced. It's a little closer to my skin tone. I bought it for highlighting and contouring, but it's too dark. So we're going to go in with a D40, and I am using a Sigma flat definer brush. Any flat definer brush would do. This is one that I've used for quite some time. You can kind of see from the side. It's very, very thin. It's just been concealed with over and over and over and over and over. It's my all-time favorite. Another brush that you can use is an actual concealer brush. This is a Dose of Colors concealer brush. You can use a brush like this if you want, or if you have one and you don't have a flat definer brush. But to each his own. Ooh, y'all didn't tell me I had some white down there. So I'm gonna get close to the mirror, and I'm just gonna take it right off of the brush and just start to conceal. Once again, you want to keep those short strokes. I don't talk while I'm doing my concealer because I don't want any sudden movements, facial features, anything to disrupt my hand and my carving. But short strokes, take your time. Take all the time in the world you need. Usually for me, a brow like this would take about 5 minutes. Like both brows, 5 minutes, boom, bam, thank you, ma'am, and I am out the door. Not really. I don't ever just do my eyebrows because I think it looks a little unfinished, but if you are a woman that likes your eyebrows and your lashes done, you'll be Gucci. But I just go out with a bare face because who really cares, you know? I mean, I just go out looking a mess all the time. You always drag it down as soon as you're done, because if you leave this line like this, you're gonna get clowned. Don't do that. Don't do that. Always, always, always drag it down on the bottom and drag it up on the top. You don't want to leave just a line of concealer underneath of your brows. You'll look a fool. And I know we all learn. We all have to learn. But that's why I'm here. So you don't go out looking bogus with just a line. And always, always, always drag it down, you guys. And I think mastering the pencil is going to be the easiest for you, because it certainly was the easiest for me when I started. I didn't use a pomade until ABH came out with one, and that was in like 2013, and I had been wearing makeup for my whole 4 years of high school. and junior high. So now I'm taking my Born This Way concealer, and I am just going to take that on the same brush. I'm going to dabble a little on the back because it is a little thicker of a concealer, and then I'm going to do the top. Right now I'm working on my tail, and because as you can see the two concealers aren't meeting to a point. Personally for me, I like for my concealers to meet at a point. So I am working on getting them to the same point. And then I'm dragging the concealer upwards and outwards so that I could just go over with my finger and kind of brush it away, and then boom, bam, thank you, ma'am. Now I'm just gonna take a little bit more of the ColourPop concealer just to go from the bottom. The good thing with brows is if you mess up, you can always start over. I still kind of kept my brow a little archy. I guess that's just what I'm feeling today. I guess I'm just feeling a little archy. So after this step, I would normally apply that same concealer to my eye and then blend it out and do eyeshadow. If I weren't, I would make sure that I blended my foundation up into my concealer, or vice versa. If my face was already done and I was doing my brows last, which I generally do, that is what I would do. But yeah, let me do my other brow. Alright, you guys, so these are my final brows. Last little thing, because I know you guys think I talk too much. Not my subscribers, but the newcomers. Brows are meant to be sisters. So think about yourself and think about your sister. You guys aren't the same. You have some similarities, but you're not the same person. You're not the same thing. So same with brows. Brows aren't twins. They're sisters. If you can get your brows to look exactly alike, sometimes I can, but 99.9% of the time they don't, then you're a makeup genius. Like, I mean, just take my bonnet off to you. But I just want to encourage you guys that even though your brows don't look exactly alike, that does not mean that you suck. That does not mean that you should wipe both brows off. Now, if they're dramatically different, I will include some pictures of my own eyebrows that I found off of Facebook. Then yeah, you probably should, you know, take one off and maybe try it again, something like that. But practice, 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 practice. I did not achieve, you know, semi-great brows overnight. That is not the case. Just continue to practice, and eventually you'll grasp the concept of your brows, and you'll be able to get them done quick, fast, and in a hurry. But I hope this helped someone. I will make sure that I post the 3 brow products that I listed in this video down below, so you guys don't get confused, because I'm so bad about my description box, like so bad. But I will try my hardest to make sure that I remember to put them down below. If I don't, make sure you check me in your comment. But yes, that's all I have for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Also, once again, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already subscribed and you made it through this video. Girl, take a shot for me. I love you all, and I'll see you guys very soon. Mwah. Bye.